Okay.
And I'm going to mute myself and I will start letting people in.
Awesome.
Do you all want me to play some music or something while we're waiting, or?
I have the FLC music.
Perfect.
So.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. She's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. Your love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. Your love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. If you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. Your love is too high to bring me down. Can't nothing bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 2021 MA-BPA Pre-SLC Webinar. Before we begin, we want to take a moment of silence to honor the lives lost due to COVID-19. This pandemic has taken a lot from us, but the legacies left behind are permanent. At this time, we also thank frontline healthcare workers for their extraordinary service and unyielding courage. As much as we would have loved seeing all of you in person, we are still incredibly excited for this year's State Leadership Conference. We wanted to take the opportunity to connect with you to share a bit about what this year's conference will look like.
We would like to begin with a quick introduction to our state officers so that you could get to know us. My name is Shreya Thalvayapati. I'm from Hopkinton High School and I serve as the secondary secretary.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian Tebbs and I'm currently serving as the secondary vice president from Greater New Bedford Vocational and Technical High School.
I am Eliana Christopher from Taconic High School and I'm currently serving as your secondary president.
And finally, my name is Andre Regal. I'm currently serving as the post-secondary president. And also with us today is our state director, Mrs. Kristen McManus.
Before we kick things off, we like to lay out some ground rules. First, we want to make tonight's workshop as interactive as possible, so please feel free to use the chat function at the bottom of the screen to type your questions or answers, as well as interact with other students and advisors. We will be keeping an eye on the chat throughout the night to see your questions, and we'll do our best to answer them at the end of the presentation. We also would love to see all of your beautiful faces, so if it's possible, please turn your webcams on. Finally, please make sure your microphone is on mute.
Let's begin with an overview of the conference. The cost of the conference this year will be $30 for each member. Our virtual conference will last 2 weeks, beginning on February 28th, and the conference will kick off with our opening session at 11 a.m. During our opening session, we are fortunate to hear from a keynote speaker. David Seibert is passionate about helping businesses grow while serving as a mentor to hundreds of students that he inspires through his book, One Student to Another, 200 Tips to Ensure College Success. After graduating from Attleboro High School, David successfully balanced heavy coursework, an internship, and being a student athlete for UMass Lowell's Division I track and field team while maintaining a 3.85 GPA. And in just 3 years, he obtained his bachelor's degree in marketing and international business. Currently, he is the marketing operations manager at Thrasio, the largest acquirer of Amazon businesses and the fastest profitable company to reach $1 billion valuation. Don't miss David's tips that will surely take your academic career to the next level.
After our opening session, our conference will kick off with competitive events. Please keep in mind that this schedule is preliminary and is subject to change. During the first week of our conference, from Sunday, February 28th through Saturday, March 6th, all of our competitive events will be held. These events, like all events throughout our conference, will be held during the weekends or in the evenings. All members can participate in an unlimited number of events this year. We want students to have every opportunity to qualify for NLC, so we're getting rid of the competitive event limits that we typically have in an in-person conference. Please note that this opportunity is only due to the virtual nature of our conference, but for future conferences, the normal event limit will apply. The exception to this unlimited event rule this year is for team events. Members will still only be allowed to compete in one team event. When preparing for your events, make sure to check which day and time your competition is held. If you're in a team event, make sure that all of your members are ready. For more tips on how to succeed during your judged events, be sure to check out our social media pages leading up to the conference, since we will be sharing tips that we as state officers have learned while hosting virtual events this past year.
Then, on Saturday, March 6th at 7 p.m., put on your thinking cap and join us for a night of trivia, prizes, and fun. Massachusetts BPA is very excited to announce that during our virtual conference this year, we will be having a special online trivia night after all the competitive events are completed. This year's special event will be hosted by Trivia Hub and will have a fun way to come together to engage virtually through this online trivia event. During this special event, students are not required to dress professionally. They are free to wear casual dress, but must still follow our dress code. This event does require members to be pre-registered. If you're interested in attending this special event, be sure to ask your advisor to register you. Don't miss our trivia night, especially if you want to win prizes.
During the second week of our conference, from Sunday, March 7th through Thursday, March 11th, we will be hosting 12 different workshops, which is more than any other conference. Each of the state officers are hosting at least one workshop, and we have some inspiring guest speakers as well. We're going to quickly run down the list of the workshops and when they are taking place. So if you'd like to note this down, feel free to do so.
For the first workshop, the importance of networking cannot be overstated. A well-established network can come into use in every aspect of life, whether it be when remodeling a house or searching for a more fulfilling job. By joining the virtual roundtable networking event on Sunday, March 7th at 10 a.m., you'll have the opportunity to connect with leaders in a diverse range of careers and learn about the professionals' day-to-day jobs. For a more engaging experience, I encourage you to brainstorm questions to ask the business professionals prior to attending the workshop.
Innovation has become a buzzword in our society. If you're interested in entrepreneurship, innovation, and being creative, then my Entrepreneurship and Innovation Workshop is just for you. Join me on Sunday, March 7th at 11 a.m. and put your creativity skills to the test.
A lot of you must be excited to graduate high school, and for many of you, that means choosing between attending college, entering the military, or joining the workforce. But are you prepared for what lies ahead? Join my workshop, Make the Grade, 5 Things I Wish I Knew Before College, Work, or Military on Sunday, March 7th at 12 p.m. and get the tips you can apply right now to make the transition into the real world a bit easier.
Have you ever felt worried about an upcoming interview or how to dress? Join the workshop Dress for Success by Men's Warehouse and erase those concerns. On Sunday, March 7th at 1 p.m., Men's Warehouse will teach students about the proper dress and interview etiquette necessary in today's job market.
From climate change to racial disparities, the socio-political scene in the United States is more complex than ever. As the next generation of leaders, engineers, business professionals, and so much more, our voices and more importantly, our actions have irrepressible echoes. Join me on Sunday, March 7th at 2 p.m. at the Gen Z Revolution Workshop to converse about the issues and events on which you can make a direct impact.
Do you want to learn how to automate your income with an Amazon FBA business? Join Dave Cyber on Sunday, March 7th at 3 p.m. as he shares the process of building and growing a sustainable online business by launching and scaling products on Amazon. In just 45 minutes, Cyber will cover all the requirements and skills that are needed to become an online entrepreneur in 2021.
We as a generation know very little about the world that existed before social media. However, it is important to reflect how social media has impacted the way we live and how we perceive our surroundings. Join me on Sunday, March 7th at 3:45 p.m. to talk about how social media can affect our ways of life.
Lido Papadopoulos is a career coach that can answer all of your questions on where to look for jobs, how to format resumes, ways to answer tough interview questions, and so much more. Lido works with individuals of all ages and levels, and she would love to share her knowledge on Sunday, March 7th at 4:30.
Toastmasters is a nonprofit organization that promotes communication, public speaking, and leadership skills. We are so lucky to have them host a workshop at our SLC on getting an audience's attention and setting the stage on Monday, March 8th at 7 p.m. Join to get one step closer to mastering the art of public speaking. Before registering for this workshop, please make sure you're able to attend since there's a limited availability of only 15 spots.
On Tuesday, March 9th at 7 p.m., the National Officer Team will be leading an interactive and engaging workshop on the 7 habits of highly effective people. Join to break down the mystery of success and learn in depth about each of those 7 habits.
Toastmasters will be hosting a second workshop on public speaking on Wednesday, March 10th at 7 p.m. This time, they will focus on how to speak and give effective feedback to a group of people. Join to investigate the simple sandwich approach when giving feedback and learn how to overcome the fear of failure, appearing foolish, or boring the audience. Once again, there's only 15 spots available, so please confirm your availability before registering.
The very last workshop of this year's SLC will be hosted by United Planet, which is a nonprofit organization that aims to create a global network by connecting students to diverse communities everywhere. Join on Thursday, March 11th at 7 p.m. to learn about the 5 pillars of global citizenship. Students will explore how participation in service and internship programs can help develop and grow the perspective in each topic area of global citizenship.
As our terms in office come to an end, we are looking for our next team of state officers that will lead MABPA and take it to new heights. The state officer team consists of 6 secondary officers and 1 post-secondary officer. If you're interested in serving as a state officer, don't miss our webinar, Everything You Need to Run for Office, tomorrow, January 27th at 7 p.m. During this webinar, our state officer coordinator, Andrea Leal, will be going over the process of running for state office at our virtual conference, and we'll even be around to answer questions you may have. State officer candidates will have their speeches shared during the opening session. At the close of the opening session on Sunday, February 28th, the campaigning period will begin. This will last until midnight on Wednesday, March 10th. Voting will take place on Thursday, March 11th from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And all candidate interviews will take place on Friday, March 12th.
Lastly, be sure to join us live on Sunday, March 14th at 11 a.m. for our closing session. We will be recognizing this year's pin contest winner, announcing our 2021 to 2022 state officer team, and recognizing winners in our competitive event programs.
Though our conference is virtual this year, we will still have the same dress code as an in-person conference. All judge events will take place in a live setting similar to the one we are in now. Members can wear any professional attire ranging from a pant or skirt suit, dress slacks, and a dress shirt, a professional dress, a suit, or a BPA blazer with dress slacks, and a dress shirt with a tie. As previously mentioned, you can hang up your professional attire for a special event hosted by Trivia Hub, as the event is casual dress.
Prior to SLC, there are many opportunities for members to participate in, get recognized for, and even earn scholarships from. We will be covering 6 different contests tonight, but a few things apply to all of them. First, the deadline to submit your work for all of the state contests is the pre-submit date of Monday, February 8th. Second, any scholarship money that you will earn through these awards can go towards paying for the National Leadership Conference in May. There will be 3 winners for each contest, and the awards include $100 for first place, $75 for second place, and $50 for third place. There are 2 exceptions to this, which will be noted below. Third, more information and guidelines for each of these awards can be found on the MABPA website under the State Contest tab in the Opportunities section of the website. Our goal tonight is to only provide you a brief description of each state contest, so please be sure to review these guidelines if you choose to apply.
For the first state contest, the state pin contest gives students the opportunity to design the pin that Massachusetts members will be trading at the National Leadership Conference, which is scheduled to take place in Orlando, Florida. The primary requirement for this contest is that you be as creative as you can. There is a small list of things that all pins must include, and this list can be found on the contest guidelines.
Moving on, the cover contest gives students the chance to use their creative skills to design a cover that could potentially become the cover for our State Leadership Conference program. As we are in a virtual setting this year, our winning cover design will be included on a landing page that members utilize throughout the conference.
Next, the writing contest gives students the opportunity to write an essay in response to a given topic. This year's essay is to respond to a quote by Alice Walker, which states, "The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any."
Getting involved and giving back to the community is an important part of BPA's mission. Entries for the Community Service Award must include a project description, project goals, the names of your team members if you worked in a group, the tasks you were able to complete, and the final results that your project yield.
The last award I want to share with you is called Beyond MABPA. And while it's not officially a state contest, for our purposes tonight, you can think of it as a state officer team award. To apply for the Beyond MABPA award, the only prerequisite is that you have accumulated any number of Torch Award points. There is by no means a certain number of points you need, so we truly mean it when we say that any number of points in any Torch Award category will make you eligible to apply. Once you decide to apply for the Beyond MABPA award, we're asking you to write a short essay with a minimum of 300 words that discusses your qualities and achievements in relation to at least 3 of the Torch Award categories. In this essay, we would love to learn more about how you have personally and professionally grown throughout your BPA journey. Summaries of all the Torch Award categories and more specific instructions can be found on the guidelines posted on our website. As noted before, this contest will have a different recognition structure. For the Beyond MABPA award, there will only be one winner who will receive $100.
In addition to the state contests, we are also looking for someone who will sing the national anthem during our opening session. If you'd like to be considered, please record a video of you singing the Star-Spangled Banner in professional attire and then submit your video in the Google Forms link on the screen by the pre-submit deadline.
With all of these great contest opportunities, we wanted to make sure to highlight the pre-submit system. This year, we are utilizing a new pre-submit system through DLG. One important item to note as you are preparing to pre-submit is that your advisor must complete your member registration before you are able to submit your events. Be sure to confirm that you are a registered member or you will not be able to submit your events. The pre-submit deadline for competitive events, state contests, Torch Awards, and more will be on Monday, February 8th. Now, I would like to hand it over to our State Director, Mrs. Kristen McManus, to complete the demo of the new pre-submit system.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So the new pre-submit system is actually fairly straightforward and simple, and I'm going to share my screen here to show you what it's like. So what you're going to see is that your username is going to be your participant ID. That's an ID that will be assigned to you after your advisor has registered you. And you will also get a particular password assigned to you as well. So once you insert your information here, you press submit. Oh, and of course, I wrote the wrong one in. Let's see if that one works instead. Okay, that's different. Let's try one more time. All right, well, why don't you guys go ahead on with the rest of the presentation and let me see if I can figure this out, okay?
No problem, Ms. McManus. On the screen, we have included important dates for your reference. Now, we would like to open the floor for any and all questions you may have. Please use the chat function at the bottom of the screen or use the raise hand feature if you'd like to speak aloud.
I know we had one question on the chat from Jill Taylor. Can I register some students today and then 5 more next week? Andrea, or?
The answer to that is yes, you absolutely can. Mhm.
Okay, awesome.
And I got it working. I was on the wrong link, so I can go ahead and share my screen if people are ready.
There we go.
Sorry about that, technical difficulties. Okay, so I am here and I have put Eliana as our sort of, as our test student, if you will. And so I went into the link, which I was on the wrong link, so that's why. And I put her, like I said, her participant ID and then her password. And so what you're going to see here is these are the events that she is currently registered for. Now you're going to see down here that prepared speech does not have anything that you submit because prepared speech is not considered a pre-submit event. Those particular links will have different buttons on there as we get closer to the state conference and as we get closer to the actual presentation dates for the prepared speech. Now, the interview skills event is an event that you do have to pre-submit the files for. So it's very simple. You just click upload file and you click here to upload a new file and you pick whatever it is that you would like to upload. And don't forget, of course, that you should look at the guidelines for your particular event, because it might explicitly state, for example, that you need to have 2 documents uploaded with 1 PDF, right? And so you should make sure to look over the WhatsApp guidelines specifically. Now, when you are done, you can delete it if you did put the wrong thing in, or you could download again. The URL, which is down here, that could be for an event such as video production team, or another event that has a pre-submit where you actually need to submit a URL. Once you are done, you press finish, and it's going to ask you if you are sure. And then that's pretty much it. It's very straightforward and very simple. You can look up your confirmation here by pushing the print sign, and it will come up with a little bit of a confirmation. You can also go in and upload files again. So let's say you forgot to do something on this resume for interview skills. You can go back to upload files, and you can actually still go in and delete that and re-upload the next thing. And just, of course, make sure you push finish down here at the bottom if you do that. Now you can actually go and re-upload something all the way up until the pre-submit deadline, which again is February 8th on that Monday. And it's at 11:59 p.m. if you'd like to know the exact. Okay, and then after you're done, you press log out, and that's about it. Are there any questions about pre-submit? Awesome.
So I'm sorry, Kristen, I raised my hand and of course, not in the viewing. So the student will have access through their own login once I register them for the different events that may require a pre-upload.
Yes, so that's a great question. So the students will access it. The advisors will not submit on behalf of the students.
Good.
And so one other thing to mention is that the pre-submit is not currently live yet. There's still a few tweaks that need to be made, but an email will be sent out to advisors, and we'll also post on social media, but it should be done and up and ready within the week.
So I can register students who I know are doing a pre-submit, and then they'll get an email, or I'll get the
I will email advisors when the pre-submit is ready. And we'll also post something on social media. So your students might see it before you if they're on social media.
Okay.
I have a question. Is that participant ID the same or different as the Torch Awards ID that you put in?
You probably for your Torch Awards are putting in your member ID. So your member ID, not to get too confused, but that's the number that like the national system sees you as for Torch Awards and other things. But because you are a participant in this state conference, the system actually assigns you a specific participant ID for this state conference. And so for the pre-submit, you'll have to use that participant one, not your member ID.
Thank you.
I also have a question, Mrs. McManus. So that portal for DLG, where can it be accessed? Is that through the MABPA website? Where can students find it?
Great question. So that will be not only emailed to advisors, but it will definitely be on mabpa.org. We'll make sure to put a button right on the homepage when you go and log on to it. And we can also put a link to it in the in our social media outlets as well.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Just a question from Lydia. She said you mentioned that there was no limits to competitive events. So is there no limits to the number of team events you do? So as you mentioned earlier, students can still only do one team event. With the other competitive events, you can do unlimited amounts. Although, however, for team events, it is only for one event you can do.
I did have a question, Ms. McManus. For the state contest, so I see that, for Eliana, for example, we saw all of our registered competitive events, but where would students go for state contests?
Sure, great question. That will also be in the same portal that I just showed you, but that's one of the tweaks that I'm trying to work out right now, but that's why it's not live just yet. And that's because I'm just trying to make sure that all of the state events, state contest events also pop up on pre-submit. So even though you might not have registered, that isn't usually something you would register for, but that should show up for all students so that you can just submit it if you would like.
Thank you.
Mhm.
While you guys are brainstorming any other questions, I would like to highlight the fact again that this year you have to pre-register for your workshops. We have so many amazing workshops this year, as you've noticed. There's 12 different ones, so there's definitely something that you're going to be interested in, considering you have so many different options. But unlike last year, you can't just drop in. So please make sure that you let your advisor know that you do need to be registered beforehand.
All right. While we're waiting for questions to pile in, and please continue putting your questions in the chat. I'm going to play this short video to recap what you can expect from this year's State Leadership Conference. Oh, nope. There you go. Awesome. Hope everyone is excited for SLC. There's another question asking who will be coming to the networking event. We are still working on putting together that final list of professionals who will be attending. And so make sure to stay tuned on our social media for more announcements regarding this workshop. But rest assured, these are professionals and BPA alumni who now work in different industries. And so if you want to learn more about them, their day-to-day, or just maybe meet your new opportunity in the future, definitely come to that workshop. Awesome. Any more questions? All right, well, hearing none, we hope you have a better picture of this year's State Leadership Conference. And for more updates prior to SLC, make sure to follow Mass BPA accounts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and check out mabpa.org. And we look forward to seeing you all virtually at our opening session on Sunday, February 28th at 11 a.m. But till then, please stay safe and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.